Our mental and physical health seems to be receding faster than the polar ice caps. You see it in our bulging waistlines, the skyrocketing demand for prescription pills, and subsequent abuse, youth and adult suicide rates increasing, and the steady flow of mind-numbing social media that's turning us all into zombies. It's a pandemic to rival COVID-19 without all the regulatory precautions. It's a problem of our own creation, and the clock is ticking towards collapse. Can we stop the viral spread? It all comes down to what we consume.
You are what you eat.
As a kid, that was one of the best insults you could throw down. Fortunately, most didn't take it seriously and just laughed along. However, was there more truth to that statement than we realized? The truth is that what we eat actually becomes a part of our physical body and impacts how we think and feel. The materials we put in our body create the cells that perform the functions of our body. Cheap, artificial, or highly processed foods create poorly functioning cells. You can't put sugar water in a race car and expect it to perform at its best. The Industrial Revolution changed the foods that we eat. Processed foods and sugars were designed to preserve food that was made in bulk so it would last longer. However, the problem is that diets high in refined sugars damage the brain and body. They worsen your body's ability to regulate insulin and promote inflammation throughout your whole body. Multiple studies have found a correlation between a diet high in refined sugars and impaired brain function. This even contributes to a worsening of symptoms of depression and anxiety. Unhealthy foods are addictive. They make you feel good in the short term and bad in the long term. It's easy to fall into a negative cycle of eating more and more of the foods that make you feel good now, but made you feel bad in the first place. And the problem is that as you eat more of it, your body starts to crave the poison that you're putting into it. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood, appetite, and sleep. And 95% of it is created in our gastrointestinal tract. Literally, our guts are lined with hundreds of millions of neurons. So it's no wonder that our gastrointestinal tract isn't just helping us digest our foods, but it's also helping us regulate our emotions. When our guts are healthy, they better absorb food and activate neural pathways from our gut to our brain, thus creating this mind-body connection. Diets void of processed food and highly refined sugars are proven to show a 25 to 30% reduction in depression over the typical Western diet. But the problem doesn't stop there. You see, food isn't the only thing we consume. What we put into our mind has just as much of an impact, if not more, on our physical and mental health. In 2007, we received a major technological advance, the iPhone. It was new and sexy and everybody wanted it, and it changed the way we interacted with each other. Instant internet access, wherever we went. And 5 years later, most Americans reported having some form of a smartphone. Social media apps exploded. We interacted with each other via social media instead of face-to-face. And by 2012, the world had changed. However, we weren't careful about the quantity and quality of what we were putting into our minds. Coincidentally, suicide and depression and anxiety rates all skyrocketed in 2012. What were we putting into our minds? Those rates continue to rise. What are we consuming? We are constantly feeding ourselves with unfair and inaccurate comparisons via photoshopped and filtered social media posts that put a megaphone on voices of negativity, drama, and normalizing the abnormal. In years past, we rolled our eyes at the unrealistic drama of soap operas But now we embrace it as we watch reality TV shows. These shows that make something that should be normal, not normal at all, but we buy it because it's exciting and thrilling. Shows have changed. Children's shows used to have morals and teach children, but now, what do they teach children? Cheap humor and disrespect to parents. But somehow, the media recognized the power of addiction and started replicating it at an alarming speed. Social media outlets like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube are doing this on purpose. They have designed their platforms to feed you more of what you're looking at, without the filter of, is this good for your mind at all? Instead, it delivers what will keep that dopamine rush flowing as long as possible. We become what the outlets want us to see and digest. In a scary way, it's like what Aldous Huxley predicted in his book, A Brave New World. We're just numb. We're blinded by everything that's flooding into our minds. We are being fed only what gives us pleasure. So, what is to be done? We need to be more intentional with what we feed our mind and our body. Be proactive. We can't allow ourselves to put into our mind things impulsively or unintentionally. Conscious choices lead to intended goals. How was your day?
It was all right. Thank you for asking.